Today is June 23rd. Critical problem still ongoing. This morning, I've been up most of the night. This morning, woken up and immediately officers internal braking session stripping out every single bit of me being able to get power or drive over my own life, advertising guilty, internally relativising me as a liar and me needing to go guilty. And that's 32, 33 very shortly in 6 months. So the relativising guilty as my responsibility for the replicating or imitating the fact I've not gone guilty at 21-year-old or 22-year-old, and it's my responsibility why I'm in a controlled state with my entire life pulled out, unable to get power, guilty as a liar. So they've stripped out all the power of my own life, leaving me in a brain dead state, relativising guilty into the power of my own life, also internalising liar. So they've replicated the relativisation that's afflicting, crippling, degrading as a liar, relativising guilty in a controlled state. Also relativising pulling you out of your head a little bit while inflicting, crippling, degrading and humiliation. Also relativising liar. So this morning, relativising guilty and pulling you out of your head a bit, whilst afflicting, crippling, degrading, infringing on my rights, or replicating a situation where they're entitled to my power internally. Critical condition. I've gone to the library, got a coffee to try and somehow get some energy because I've had very little sleep. And relativising, I told you. So as I've said, all this morning, internal high-risk transgressions, replicating a situation whereby they're committing crime against me internally, guilty, referring to the fact I've not gone guilty, pulling you out of your head a bit, referring to some kind of mad, obviously mental illness or whatever else that they've replicated themselves or put in the system. And also I told you, whereby they've created their own argument with me, they gave me a false suicide and torturing me to death and not doing justice for it. So guilty, pulling you out of your head a bit, and I told you, replicate all three high-risk transgressions, replicating situations or criminal activity in an institutional self in conjunction with their own deficits or their own personal traits. So they essentially created their own internal punch bag where they afflict me with crippling, degrading and internal transgressions into my power all day, every day, costing me every day of my life. Guilty, pulling you out of your head a bit, and I told you, all replicating scenarios or situations that's killing my power, afflicting, crippling, degrading, critical condition all day, every day, internal transgressions, committing crime against my power, all rights, entitlement to justice, critical condition still continues.